Top Billin.
Yo, Top Billin to ya. Man, Top Billin, I have a new lease on life. You know why? Because it's been 90 damn long-ass days since I told you guys about those 2 copyright strikes, right, that the channel got. And, man, it was a long road to trek, man. Thinking about that bad boy every day. Thinking like, man, I wake up today and what I work long and hard for will be gone, right? Hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, giving y'all that realness, the authenticity of it, the swagger, the intensity. Just doing my 1-2 thing, man. Brushing them haters off, you know what I'm saying? Cracking them in the head, cracking their little coconut heads, doing my thing. But check it, man. It's over. It is over. Reading the free and clear, right? So, man, with that new lease on life, it's all good. But that's what you know, I'm still myself, right? So when I run into those people or that particular person who could have just, taken the copyright strikes off. It wasn't a big deal at all. Not at all, right? Could have done that. But no, they want to be Billy Badass and hold on to that. So you're going to have to see me eventually. I'm going to get to cracking some coconuts in real life as well. So, but we're going to move on past that Top Billin because, man, I got a new lease on life and I want to talk about finding the next Clemson. I feel like I did real good with my Clemson content last year. I said Clemson was going to win the national title before the year began. And, man, we see what happened with that. I said Trevor Lawrence was the greatest player I ever scouted. I thought he could go and be the #1 draft pick out of high school. He's like straight to the high school type cats, man. He's one of those guys. Same thing with Justin Ross. Said he was like the next Julio Jones. People saying, he's slow and this and that or whatever. How'd that work out? So, but with that being said, Clemson has become extremely annoying. Clemson fans have become Alabama fans. And y'all saw how I got frustrated with Alabama fans, with which this channel started. Let's be real here. I've covered Alabama my entire career. And this channel was built off the back of Alabama content. So you still see a little bit of Alabama content on. I can't get away from Alabama, man. Got too much skin in the game there, but I don't have that history with Clemson. So I'm looking to find the next Clemson, man. So I was thinking about some teams. If you think about what really made Clemson, Clemson's a great team, great program. It's very hard to duplicate what Clemson does because it has its own way of going about its business, right? If you think about the way it recruits, never really had a big recruiting class up until the 2018 class. And even that class was maybe just a top 10 class or something like that. Nothing too big. But, man, now it's crazy. They're starting to recruit like Georgia. So to find the next Clemson, it has to be somebody who I think is in a conference. I would like for it to be a Florida, the team that I have a long history with ever since I was a little kid. A team like that, but can you really be Clemson with a juggernaut like Georgia in your conference or right in your division as your rival? I don't know. Would like to be Tennessee, who I think has the most talented coaching staff in the entire conference, right? Maybe we'll get to that, maybe top 10 or top 5 best SEC coaching staffs or something like that. But that would be kind of tough on me, man. Georgia's in everybody's way right there. Same thing with LSU and Alabama and all this. LSU, Georgia, and those type of teams to me are already lit. We already know that they can win the national championship. We know what Alabama's about. Alabama's not going anywhere. So to me, it would have to be a team, maybe Florida State. Florida State's not getting past Clemson anytime soon, right? Miami, team that I've covered for rivals for a couple of years. I could do real good stuff. I did real good stuff on Miami. But Miami's got a way to go, too. I think they're going to be on the upswing. I still miss Coach Rick, though, man. That was my guy. So, I don't think any teams like that. So, that brings me to a few teams that I have listed here. All right, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a mother. We know Oklahoma's on the cusp anyway. It plays the best offensive football in college football. So, I can do Oklahoma in my sleep, for real. I told a story about the first article I ever wrote. I wasn't even trying to be in the business. I actually was still playing football. And I wrote a piece on Sam Bradford on a kind of a draft website was ran by Corey Chavis. Remember him, former NFL safety? Yeah, so he was trying to hire me there, but I was still playing ball and doing a whole bunch of different stuff, fitness and modeling and stuff. So I said no. Then I ended up in the business anyway, like 3 years later. So that's crazy, right? Oklahoma's definitely going to be there. So Texas is looking like it could be a Clemson type, right? They're recruiting very well. Top 3 recruiting classes the last 2 cycles. I don't know if anybody noticed that, right? Crazy talent, the ability to recruit all over the country, just like Clemson can do. Texas is a mother. Maryland really intrigues me. The Maryland Terrapins, I love Coach Loxley. I love that DMV area football. Now, being in the Big Ten, that's probably a no-go. I would have to think with Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, teams like that. But, man, stranger things have happened. I like what Maryland is doing. Suppose Coach Loxley was able to keep kids like Mikael Sherman at home and some of these guys that have gone to Alabama and different places like that, and Florida State. And suppose he's able to catch a couple of recruiting cycles like that. Things could change in a hurry, right? So Maryland with Coach Loxley, who I think was instrumental in Alabama turning around its offensive program, or even going to the next level, even past what Lane Kiffin was doing. People giving Dan Enos a lot of credit. I don't like that, man. Give Mike Loxley some credit. Coach Loxley, holla at your boy, man. I'm going to try to get you on our Coach K's recruiting podcast or something. I got to talk to you, man. You're a genius. All right, so perhaps my number 1 team that I'm most interested in will be Oregon. Everybody my age love Oregon. Oregon had that swagger coming up when you were coming up in the late 2000s, the beginning of the decade, right? Swagger out this world. So, man, I love everything about Oregon. I love that back then with Chip Kelly, and I love what they're doing now. Coach Cristobal, that's my guy right there. He may be the best recruiter in the country, right? I know that guy can coach some football regardless of what happened at FIU back in the day. He can coach some ball. Oregon was looking good, man. They keep recruiting like they did last year. It's going to be curtains. But their recruiting, to me, is tied into USC being down. So that's just like Clemson with Florida State and Miami being down. Clemson kind of took over right there. And we can pretty much see the same exact thing happen with Oregon. But I will tell you this. If Urban Meyer comes back and he's coaching USC, you already know which team I'm going to be covering, because Urban Meyer is my guy, right? Same thing, man. Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher. Y'all know I love Jimbo. Oh, man, that's a tough one, man. You got to get past Alabama and LSU. And you have other teams like Mississippi State, and you got to play Georgia sometimes. And I don't know, that's tough on me, man. But if anybody can do it, Jimbo can do it. Jimbo might be the one to put all of them out the pasture and it be Jimbo's conference. So I don't know. But you guys let me know right there in the comment section. I'm trying to find the next Clemson. Who out of those teams, or do you have some other team? Please don't come to me talking about Georgia and all this. I already covered Georgia. You know that's my primary cover. I already covered Alabama. Those teams don't count. I'm trying to find the next Clemson, right? So you know somebody going to come in here and, I'm going to act in the comment section and be arrogant and stuff and block you and all this and that. We can just skip the particulars, baby. Just say block me. I'm not going to do right? Just do that. How about that? But other than that, if you want to participate for real, just let me know, man. Help me find the next Clemson, all right? With that being said, Top Billin, I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.